morning and welcome everyone.
Good morning.
Happy Easter to you. Come on in and grab your seat. Everybody get comfortable. We're going to begin with our centering song this morning called This Door is Open to You. No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the list out to the turnout, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
As we come together on this glorious Easter morning, I invite you with me to recognize that there is one life. That life is God's life, and that life is my life now, and that life is your life. So as we celebrate this new birth, we realize and bless each and every one. Those within the sound of my voice and those who are not. We bless the people, especially this morning in Ukraine. We send them our love and our peace on this Easter morning. We see each other as that one expression of the divine, that one individual who we love and are loved. So I am grateful this morning to spend this time with you, knowing that everything is in divine order. I bless this service. I bless our speakers. I bless the music and each and every one of you, knowing we are all blessed. I let it go. I let it be. And so it is.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thank you, Julie. That was beautiful. Good morning. Good morning, everyone here in the sanctuary and those of us online. We welcome you to Centers for Spiritual Living Temecula Valley. It is my joy and my honor to be here today with us all as we celebrate these high holy holidays. And so this morning, Reverend Catherine is with her daughter Emily, and Steve's daughter Emily, is a very accomplished dancer. And she is in Florida today, this week. Yes, she's in Florida at a very prestigious competition. So we are honoring Reverend Catherine as she walks with Emily in Florida, dances, hopefully, with Emily in Florida. We love you, Reverend Catherine, and we honor her time with her daughter. And so we have a very special service planned today. We're going to have our esteemed practitioners and ministers hosting. And so it's going to be a variety of faces and voices up here this morning as we all come together to celebrate. And so how good it is to be here. It is the convergence of many high holidays in many faith traditions this weekend. It's interesting. I think it's the first time in like 30 years that the Jewish faith, the Christian faith, the Muslims, the Sheiks, the Buddhists all have a beautiful high holiday around this time. And we're also celebrating the new moon. So how glorious it is to just remember with everyone around the world, regardless of faith tradition, the truth of our being, the light, the love. And that's what we do here at Centers for Spiritual Living. We come together to remember the truth of our being. And so I just honor our time together as we celebrate and welcome everyone here and online as we come together to celebrate these high holy holidays. So with that, I will turn it over to Danielle, and she will lead us in our congregational song this morning.
Yeah, if you'd all like to stand up and join me here, we're going to sing You Are the Light of Love, and the lyrics should be on the screen for you. You are the light of love. I am the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love, of peace. You are the light of peace. I am the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light of joy. I am the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy, of hope. You are the light of hope. I am the light of hope. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of hope, of love. You are the light of love. I am the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love. I couldn't have anything without that
Let's hear it again for Danielle and Mike.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just so happy to be here. It's wonderful to see so many happy, smiling faces. And this is the time of our service, and I just love this. We added it a few months back. It's called Moment of Gratitude. What I love so much about it is that I know I am just so grateful myself, just for life itself. And I am just so grateful that we've added this to our service. And it's a very simple spiritual practice. All one has to do is to perhaps go within. So I invite you all in this season of rebirth, renewal, starting over. If you're comfortable, simply close your eyes. Take a deep breath and go within. And think of a time in your life where there was great joy because of a new beginning of something. may have been a graduation, could have been a marriage, could have been the birth of a child. Think of that very, very special time in your life when great joy enveloped your whole body and soul. Contemplate that for a moment. Just reflect on how grateful you were for that moment in your life. Okay, I invite you to open your eyes. See how simple that is? Just remember how joyful that time was, because you can change and relive that once again. Namaste.
Wow. Jim, that was awesome. Thank you so much. And now I invite Pat Cluck up for a special reading.
Good morning. So, the Unity minister and author Eric Butterworth, the great Easter truth is that there is a principle and a process of wholeness within every person. Thus, an open tomb of Easter morning says to you, you can become what you innately are. And this innateness of you far transcends anything you have ever conceived in your wildest flights of fancy. There is within you a person of stature, of genius, of mastery struggling to be released. And if you get into the spirit of Easter and let it happen to you, you can believe that every stone of limitation will be rolled away from your tomb. So this morning, let's roll away the stone of separation. Let us believe in a resurrection in our own souls. Let us right now yield our condition-based thinking to a greater spiritual understanding, an understanding of our unity with God, just as Jesus understood his unity with God. So complete was this realization in Jesus that he was unable to find a place where he began and God left off, or where God began and Jesus ceased to be. This morning, can we begin to come to the same realization? Can we begin to move to the point where we don't know where God begins in us and where we cease to be as a separate being from God? Today, let us be willing to roll the stone away and let the glory of God shine through each of us, undaunted by what others may think or say or do. And so it is.
And now, for more special music.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you.
Wow, thank you so much. What beautiful music we have today. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Wonderful. I'm Reverend Michael Summers, and I welcome all of you here today, all those on the ethers of the internet also. And because this is really a special day all over the world, and we have our own specialness here. Because we can rise above it all. And what do I mean by that? By the end of the talk, you'll understand. This is interesting because Charlene talked about how holidays are kind of coinciding. Yeah, better? Okay, thank you. So there's a formula for choosing which Easter Sunday is, what day it is on. And this is the way it works. It's the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the spring equinox. You got that? That's the way they figure it out. And I'm just going to let them figure it out. Okay, so now, a special day, because Jesus made it special. On this day, Christians around the world remember the resurrection of Jesus as their Savior. But we remember in the science of mind that Easter takes on a different meaning. Those who practice New Thought like we do view Jesus as a master teacher who led by example. He telling people what he did, they could do also. And that's what we are doing now. In rising from the dead, he showed that life is eternal. After life on this earth, life continues as the consciousness is freed from the body to express on another plane of existence. So we never die. We go on as spiritual beings. And that to me is wonderful news. That is the great news, the good news that Jesus brought and proved it. He proved it by example. And he shows us by example, by teaching us these things. Now, when I first came into religious science, the minister that I had was wonderful, Marlene Oaks. She told the story. It's a story that when Jesus was creating everything, before he started creation, he wanted to talk to the angels and ask the angels what they thought. So he says, you know, I'm going to create heaven and earth, and I want children. So I'm going to create my children. But he says, but I want them to discover it for themselves. I'm going to hide this from them. But where should I hide it? And one angel said, we can hide it on the highest mountain. Another said, we can hide it in the deepest ocean. Another said, we can bury it in the deepest place of the earth. And God said, those are good ideas. But what I want to do is hide it in plain sight. I'm going to hide it within them. But I'm going to let them discover it for themselves. So, what Plato says is that we are dipped in the river of forgetfulness before we come into this experience. And that's what God did. So that we could experience life and discover things for ourselves. And isn't that what we all have done? Yeah. First we had to discover what it was like on a human plane until we discovered something greater. So Jesus said, Ernest Holmes, I'm getting these guys mixed up. So Ernest said in a voice celestial, he is in all, for he is all. It is through love his presence is revealed. That's how God reveals himself, through love. Good Friday. Good Friday. Didn't seem to be so good for Jesus. But it was called Good Friday. Why? Because what he said was one of the greatest lessons in the Bible that came to light even more to me was as I was writing this talk. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And the Father is in all of us, hidden away until we can discover it for ourselves. And that's the beauty about the gift, that we have to discover it for ourselves. But Jesus was showing us by example. Now, I learned about forgiveness in the 12-step program, because you forgive and you make amends. And the greatest person I had to forgive was myself, because of the mistakes I made. And then I had to forgive others for the mistakes they made. And that was wonderful. But then I discovered the science of mind and spirit with Ernest Holmes and this wonderful church now called the Centers of Spiritual Living. Then it was called religious science, because everything could be proved in the laboratory of life. That's why they call it a science. And Ernest said again in the science of mind, healing is not creating perfection. There is a perfect part of us that is whole. So we don't heal anything. We reveal that which is already whole. So we are discovering that we are already whole. We just have to affirm it, so that it'll express itself in a greater way. That's the way it works. So we are all perfect, whole, and complete, but we have to discover that for ourselves. And guess what? Other people have to discover it for themselves too. We're all on our own here. Yet there are people that are there serving and supporting us by revealing the truth that is there. Only we have to believe it. It is done unto us as we believe. So if we believe we're just human beings, we're just going to have a human experience. But if we believe that we're spiritual beings, having a human experience, we can go through that and be spiritual beings having a spiritual experience. It's up to us. It's our choice. Because it's done unto you as you believe. And faith. Faith is believing in the things not seen. So there's some things that we can't see, but will be revealed to us. For God is so good that God will reveal these things to us. And we have to trust. Now Jesus said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Who else in the present moment needs forgiveness because they don't know what they're doing? They don't know that they're spiritual beings. It's happening in the world. It's happening in Ukraine. It's happening in Russia. And I really don't like getting caught up in the news because all they do is flash the stuff that is going on. What I want to know is the truth and continue to know the truth about this. Because they are all spiritual beings. Yes, and we do pray for the people in Ukraine. But we need to pray for the people in Russia. For the dictators. The dictators, they think they can rule the world through fear and through control and through force. Because it doesn't work. Throughout history, they've been doing that, and it hasn't worked for anyone. It seems to just kind of be there and then go away. But we can know the truth for these people. Not only the people in Ukraine, but the people in Russia. We can know that they are spiritual beings also. Only they haven't discovered it yet. Yet if we pray, and we do a spiritual mind treatment, and let God do its work in them and through them, because that's where God resides, then something special can happen. But we need to believe that. We have to affirm it and not get caught up in this stuff and get angry. Wow. But that's what's taking place. So it's overcoming the human nature that we are and rise up into our spiritual nature. Because that is the truth about being. And you know, Ernest said that we involve before we can evolve. That means we have to believe something that is the truth. The truth that he taught. Jesus was a master teacher, and he was teaching him all these things, and us all these things. And Ernest Holmes got hold of it, and he has 2 chapters in the Science of Mind and Spirit about Jesus' teachings. And you know, they're two of my heroes, Jesus and Ernest, because they changed my thinking and changed my life. And I am so grateful to be here to share this with you, because that's all I can do, is share what's happening to me and know that it's happening to you also. Just be open. Just see it through your spiritual eyes, because you have them. You have the Father within you, God within you, the divine within you, for you are divine. You are more than human. You're divine. And that's the message I have for you. The message that Jesus gave us, the message that Ernest gave us, and the message that we share through the Centers of Spiritual Living. So this is the time to celebrate. So let us know that we can all rise above it all. Thank you for listening. And enjoy the day. So now we have some more beautiful music.
Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to
Wow, the music is awesome today. And now I want to invite the other half of the dynamic duo that Reverend Catherine created. So here she is, my spiritual sister.
I don't think I need to say anything. Hi, hello. I mean, after that song from McCartney and Lennon and performed by Mike and Danielle and Reverend Michael's talk, I don't think I need to even be up here after all that. Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful. I'm like overwhelmed. Hi, I'm Charlene Kussner. I'm a ministerial intern. Hello. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. How good it is to be together. So yes, we're talking about rising up. Rising into our innate freedom, our innate joy, our innate creativity, rising up. And so I am also talking about rising up and standing in our innate power, our innate creativity. And so, gosh, this holiday is so full of archetypes and images and symbols, right? It's so juicy with ways to describe human beingness, essentially, right? All of these stories, the Christ story, and all the faith traditions that are having their high holidays right now, it's all deeply embedded with just the meaning of being human and recognizing, like Reverend Michael said, the divine within us, hidden within us. All of the faith traditions weave the deep spark that resides within us. And so it's wonderful to be here to talk about it. And I'm going to start with an African proverb that I really, really liked. If we wish to move mountains tomorrow, we must start by lifting stones today. And we're talking, right, about rolling the stone away from the tomb. This week I did 2 weeks ago, I did a little DIY craft project where Zach and I created this mound of dirt and these stones from the garden, and then we found a big stone, and I had a little pot that served as the tomb, and we put the rock in front of it, right, and I put little crosses on it. And it's so symbolic of what we as human beings are experiencing on this plane of existence. That we many times are in that dark kind of place, that tomb-like moment. And yet we roll away the stone, we roll away the boulder, and we can step out. And we are, I feel like, really stepping out right now. We're coming through the pandemic. It's been 2 years. We're starting now to gather more frequently. Things feel like it's kind of, tracking and coming back together, and more of what normal was, I guess, or our new normal, right? As we have this moment now to create something new. We want to move that mountain. We start with the rock. We start where we are. And so St. Francis of Assisi says this about starting where we are. Start with what is necessary and do that. Then do what is possible and do that. Suddenly you are doing the impossible. But it's starting with just where we're at. Just doing what's necessary today. What's necessary right in front of me today. Doing it with love. I sprinkle in love. Do it with love, gratitude, joy, creativity. But start with where you're at. And suddenly, before we know it, we're doing something impossible, right? We're starting a new job. We're starting a new project at home. Whatever that new is, we start where we're at. We don't have to think about moving the mountain tomorrow. We just think about the little rock and move it away from the tomb. Just that simple step, and start with where we're at. One rock at a time is my motto. One rock at a time. And similarly, we can think about this holiday weekend is about the symbol of the cross, right? So not only do we have the tomb, we have the resurrection, the crucifixion, the cross. And so Dr. Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind and Spirit, says this about the cross metaphysically, because we're metaphysicians, right? We're new thinkers, new thoughters, right? In this philosophy that was created by Dr. Ernest Holmes. And he says, it represents the crossing out of the old human life, which might be based on materialism or false belief, and moving into the resurrection of the new spiritual life based on unity. So laying down that cross, recognizing our unity, our oneness, our wholeness, which is the divine gift, that spark that Reverend Michael was talking about, that God hid within us. That's the truth of our being, hidden within us. And so as we lay down the cross, whatever that is, for me it was soda. I laid down my soda. So, no, I'm going to lay that down, right? But I started where I started, and I laid down that cross to begin anew, to start fresh. And that's some of what, just a small scotch of what the cross represents. And so as we move the stones one by one, and we exit out of the tomb, what came through for me was, gosh, remember that, I'm sure we all know, where we're kind of, maybe we're cold and we're somewhere where it's kind of cold, and then we step out of a room or a hallway or a breezeway, and the light hits us, and we're like, oh, thank you, God. Because it feels so good to feel that light on our skin, that warmth on our skin, right? We can feel it. We can feel it. It warms us. And so can we imagine today rolling away those stones one by one, starting where we're at, stepping out into the light and feeling it on our skin, and maybe we look up. Reverend Catherine talks about how powerful, just at this small spiritual practice, looking up. So if we're praying or we're meditating or we're contemplating, just looking up 45 degrees. It's a powerful physical remembering. Our body feels it. So when we step out of that tomb and we look up and we feel the sun on our face, we feel the warmth. Because interestingly enough, one of our congregants, James, had sent me some interesting facts on light. And I always like to bring science because this is science of mind and spirit, okay? So I like to bring in the science. Light has no mass and it does not weigh anything. Light, I'm not going to go into it because I am not a scientist, but light, interestingly enough, does not really partake in the laws of our physical universe that we know of as scientists. There's physical laws. And light doesn't really play there. It balances between both. It kind of has no weight, it has no mass, but we can feel it, right? I certainly can. And I thought how interesting that there's that out there that exists. I can't feel it, I can't weigh it. I can feel it, but I can't weigh it, I can't measure it as a mass, but I know it exists. And it has momentum, right? Streams here from the sun. And so it balances kind of those two realms of physical and ethereal, spiritual, kind of woo-woo, and physical. And I think that's like love. Now I can't measure love, right? I can't weigh it. I don't know if it has mass. I've asked the scientists to tell me that, but I don't think it has any mass. But I can feel it. I know it. And when I feel in connection with another human being or another animal, that sentient being and I resonate with each other, and I feel the love. I feel it in my physical body. all can. So I think that, this morning as we move into these metaphors, just, rolling away the stone, stepping into the light, laying down at the cross, whatever it is that we want to think about in this grand story, which is so wonderfully representing what it's like to be human, all the aspects of it. I'd like for us to just think for a second about maybe an aspect of ourselves or challenge we're facing. Is there a place in our life where we could lay the cross down? Could we give ourselves a small break? Could we? Could we love ourselves? Could we look for that divine spark within us in a deeper way and put a cross down? We don't have to carry it. That love that is embedded within us is the divine love. It is the presence, the power of that entity that I call God. I call it personally God, but it goes by many, many names. And that beingness wants us to feel its fullness all the time. All the time. And so by laying down a cross, we can step more fully into the light and feel it and know it. Dr. Ernest Holmes from 365 Science of Mind, which is a great practice, it's a daily practice, says this. When we roll away the stone of uncertainty from our consciousness, right, our consciousness, we find the resurrected, the divine, and God intended perfection and wholeness. We let go of every belief that we are lost or forlorn because we know the doorway from that tomb leads us away from any false belief. We are standing forevermore in the glory of an everlasting protection of the one presence. When we roll away the stone of uncertainty from our consciousness, that's the only thing that's limiting us, is our own false belief within our consciousness. And so can we roll away the stone a little bit more today, move a couple little more stones today to deepen into our own divine beingness? I love this statement from Plotinus, another Greek. We're bringing in the Greek philosophers today. I am trying to make what is most divine in me rise up to what is divine in the universe. I am trying to make what is most divine in me rise up and meet the divine, powerful, universal principle that is God. So can we do that today? Can we start with what is necessary, what's right in front of us, right? Going back to St. Francis of Assisi. And we will do the impossible as we rise up and meet the divine. So let's lay down a cross today. Maybe it's shame, judgment, disharmony, disease, whatever it is for us. Take a moment, think about it. Is there something I can just leave behind today? I can lay it down. I can move one more stone. And in my tomorrows, I'll be doing the impossible. I'll be moving that mountain. Because that is the true salvation that we're talking about this weekend, is really just remembering who we are. Touching in with that divine beingness and rising up, moving that stone away from our consciousness and rising up to meet the divine. The divine is ready, waiting. It's vamping, right? It's vamping, waiting for us to step more fully into the light. And so as we celebrate today with our family, with our friends, as we think about Easter and all of what it symbolizes, I hope that today we can move a little stone, lay down a little cross, and just realize more fully the beautiful, divine, creative, intuitive intelligence that we all are as we rise up and meet the divine. And so it is.
gave me a song of revival. I put it on vinyl. Rise up, rise up. I once was blinded, but now I see it. I heard about the power, and now I believe it. Rise up, rise up. All at once I came alive. This beating heart, these open eyes, the brave let go, the darkness should have known. You're still rolling stones. You're still rolling stones. I thought that I was too far gone for everything I've done wrong. Yeah, I'm the one who done this great, but you called my name. You called my name. I thought that I was too far gone for everything I've done wrong. I'm the one who done this great, but you call my name. You call my name. All at once I came alive. This beating heart, these open eyes, the brave let go, the darkness should have known. You're still rolling stones. You're still rolling stones. You're still rolling stones. You're still rolling stones. You're still rolling
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My goodness, this Rise Up theme, my goodness, the music, the messages, it's been awesome. Awesome. This is the time in the service where we have the opportunity for sacred giving. And so I'd like to call forward the ushers. And while they're coming, I'd like to thank all of our volunteers for what you do each Sunday. This service could not go the way it does without the volunteers, so thank you. And I'd also like to thank each and every one of you for your generous giving. Last Sunday, Reverend Catherine said that we're staying alive. And over the next few weeks, we're going to go virtual on Facebook because of the renovations here. And so we want to stay alive. So it's going to be very important that we continue our giving while we're worshiping online. I am the treasurer of the board here, and I see those numbers all the time. And so the board is working really, really hard trying to stabilize our finances. We want to get back to more of an even keel. But we thank you for your generous contributions in the past and for going forward. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I'd like to ask you to place your contribution over your heart. And as we go within, let us all know that the light of the divine shines brightly on these donations. And I know that these donations are just a seed that will expand, grow, to support what we do here at CSL TV. And so I simply let it be, and so it is.
So it is.
Let us say together our affirmation of abundance. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am prosperous now. So it is.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
And so I turn it over to practitioner Mary. Thank you.
Thank you, Donald.
Everybody else.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Mary Russell, one of the practitioners here, and it is my pleasure to read to you the announcements today. I want to wish you all a very happy holiday for whatever you're selling, from Ramadan to Easter, whatever it is, happiness everywhere. So I have a few announcements to share with you today. Our Science of the Mind book study meets Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Zoom. They are currently reading Fear, Essential Wisdom in Getting Through the Storm by Thich Nhat Hanh. You need to contact Julie Nims or Ian Woodward for more information. Our men's ministry meets Wednesdays online and in person at Journey's Restaurant. Please contact Reverend Michael Summers for more information. Our Sisters in Spirit group meets on the third Thursday of the month at 9 a.m. in person at Journey's Restaurant. This month it will be the April 21st, so it's this Thursday, so I'll see you all there at 9 a.m. Our CSL TV Community Connection continues on Wednesday evening on Zoom at 7 p.m. with Reverend Catherine. They will be taking a break this week, but will return on April 27th. Good luck, have a wonderful time, Reverend, and your daughter in Miami. Isn't that exciting? Anyway, I digress. Today is the last day of the collection for the supplies for the local farm workers. We have been collecting supplies of food and clothing for local farm workers in Duluth this month. Today is the last day for this round of collections, and the supplies will be delivered to them this week. Thank you to everyone who has donated. We can also take financial donations today to add to the collections. Please see the table in the breezeway. Tables take donations? Okay, somebody will be there. Foundations, 10 weeks with Dr. Reverend Catherine Economy. Will begin a foundations class on Tuesday, April 26th. Foundations is a great class to immerse yourself in the teachings of science of mind. Absolutely the best. It is our foundational level class, and it is prerequisite to any other certificated classes that we offer. Reverend Catherine will be teaching it on Tuesday evening from 6 to 9 online via Zoom. Sign up after service or contact Reverend Catherine to register. CSL TV has launched a hiking club this month. I heard they had it Saturday and it was wonderful. Was it, Charlene?
It was great.
Oh, wonderful. They have their first hike yesterday and are looking forward to a regular schedule of local hikes together to build community and deepen our relationship. Watch your emails and the center's social media for more information. Everyone is welcome, and we look forward to exploring our local area together in nature. The Gifts of Spirit Spring Bazaar that Ian Woodward has done so much work on has been postponed, of course, due to the construction at the center. We will let you know when this new date is set. And now, I will invite our board president, Pat Clark, to share what is going on here at the center, to speak about the construction at the center. So, Ms. Clark, come on up.
Good morning again, and good morning to Reverend Catherine. I'm monitoring the Facebook. I believe she's with us this morning from Florida. So as you may have heard, and you can see there's lots going on out there, the Masonic Lodge is going through a major renovation project. And this is the result of the flooding we experienced last month. Now, because of the construction, which includes almost every part of the lodge and will take about a month to complete, we have had to make some decisions about our office space and our Sunday services. Until last week, the board met to discuss possible options for our center during this time. And after serious deliberation, we voted to temporarily move our office space and take our Sunday services back to 100% online until we can safely move back into this space. This is what we did during the pandemic, and this is what we'll be doing again for about a month. This, of course, is not something we wanted to do, but we perceive this to be our best and safest option. Now, we are just building up our energy and our momentum. So glad to have so many people coming back, and we don't want to lose that. This is unfortunate timing, but I think that together we can maintain that new revitalized energy and continue seeing growth within our center and our CSL TV family. We are committed to maintaining our personal connection, and I will share with you some ideas we have come up with. We would also value any suggestions that you might have. Beginning next Sunday, we will again live stream on Facebook Live. The recording of the service will also be available on Facebook and on YouTube. Please join us for these Sunday services. And if you need help getting connected, please let us know and we'll try to get you some assistance. You will also be able to continue to support the center by making donations via PayPal, AutoTime, or mailing your checks to the center address. Now, as I mentioned, our goal is to maintain our connections with each other, and here are some of the possibilities we've come up with. We would like to create viewing parties for those who would like to get together in small groups to watch the services. We encourage you to host or to attend Sunday service viewing parties. If you can host, please sign up at the table. Cecilia will be in the social hall after service, and she'll have some sign-up sheets for those of you who are interested in any of the ongoing activities, including this one. If you would like to attend a watch party, add your name. There is also going to be a separate list for folks who would like to attend, and we'll put you together with the host and the viewers. Now, Reverend Catherine will be starting the Science of Mind Foundations class that Mary told you about, and that will be online. Now, I know a lot of you have taken foundations, but even if you have taken this class before, this could be the perfect time to revisit it. The class teaches the foundations of religious science, and it is a perfect opportunity for newcomers as well as longtime attendees to understand and examine the teachings of religious science founder Ernest Holmes. This is really a wonderful, motivational, and moving class. It's an excellent experience, and it encourages connection and personal and spiritual growth. There was a sign-up sheet available for those of you who are interested in attending foundations. I encourage everyone to give it some serious thought. You won't be the same coming away from foundations class. Our new hiking group plans to keep meeting. I spoke to Kelly, and she says that the current plan is for you to meet on the first and the third Saturdays for a hiking experience. I heard it was great on Saturday, And I look forward to being able to participate too. So there'll be a sign-up sheet if we don't already have your information, so we can make sure that you know when the next hiking experience is going to take place. We are going to be continuing our morning meditations from 7:30 to 7:45 weekday mornings with Reverend Catherine and members of the practitioner group. If you have not signed up for the daily meditations, make sure you sign up today so we can make sure you have those Zoom link and you can join us starting tomorrow morning. We're also planning a church picnic on Sunday, May 15th. Put that on your calendar from 12 o'clock until 3 o'clock, and that will be at a local park. We will be providing information on where a little bit later. And you're starting to see how important it is for us to be able to reach out to all of you and give you these updates as they come along. So please make sure we have your information. Other suggestions that have come across the board include a night at the Storm Stadium with tailgating, a movie night, a game night, and a bowling event. So let's go ahead and pool our creativity. Let's work together to stay connected with our spiritual family during this time away from our space. So with so much going on, as I said, it's really important that we're able to stay in touch with you. So please check in with Cecilia Birch to make sure we have your contact information and that you are receiving our weekly emails. Our greatest hope is that we will be back together in this space and in person by the end of May. We are looking forward to a renovated, refreshed, and beautiful center for our worship and community space. Meanwhile, let's stay connected. Let's make a commitment to do that and to continue to support CSL TV with our positive energy. You're here now. Let's commit to share our time, our talents, and our treasure. See this positive manifestation. See it, believe it, and know that it is so. We look forward to the renewal of our space and the ongoing reconnection and commitment of our CSL TV family. We are already planning a great celebration for the day CSL TV is back in person again. And now I'd like to ask Reverend Michael to come forward and guide us with a healing prayer.
Before I do that, I've got to say this has been a wonderful celebration with beautiful music. My beautiful partner over there, and your attention too. And I've got to say too that we are going to celebrate Easter, my wife and I, with our kids and our grandkids. And when we leave here, I'll be baking a ham, and we'll be doing potatoes and everything else. We've got strawberry shortcake, and we have a few little drinks too, because they're good for us also, fruit of the vine. And we're going to have a lot of fun because we're going to have an Easter egg hunt. Not only for the kids, but for the adults too. We're planning for the adults too.
Tell them what's in the eggs.
Huh?
The eggs for the adults.
Yeah, what about them?
What's in them?
Oh, there's going to be some, instead of candy, there's going to be money. Everybody can use a little money. That's the way it is. That's the new fad now, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean.
Reverend, what's your address?
The other thing is I want to encourage you, if you're new or even if you're not new, to take the foundation class, because there's so much there. And if you take it again, you'll get so much even more from it. It's a wonderful class, it's a wonderful teaching, and the more we know, the better we'll be. So let us come together in consciousness and know that God is present right here where we are, in us, as us, and expressing all around us, for God is all there is. God created all of this out of itself, so it's all God and it's all good. And we are all awakening to this. Ernest says he's the living Spirit Almighty, and I have because he is still doing mighty works for us as we pray, as we do spiritual mind treatment, as we do affirmations. So I know that we are thankful for all the good that is taking place, so that more good can take place by being thankful. I know that we don't need healing, we just need remembering that we are perfect, whole, and complete. And I know that people that don't know this are discovering it now, especially the people over in Europe, over in Ukraine and Russia. For God is in them. I know that God is doing its perfect work in them because I know it and I believe it. And we can all believe that and affirm it, for it is truly taking place right now through the power and presence that we put into the love and law of God. So I know it is unfolding, not only in our lives, but in the lives of everyone, discovering the truth that makes us free. So I have faith, believing in the things not seen. And I trust in God by turning these words over to God in thankfulness and gratefulness. So I release these words to God and its love and law. And I let it unfold, I let it be. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you've got to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Said I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for
As we move into this holiday, into this week, I know that we lay down those crosses, we move those little stones away, and we rise up. Can we say it together? We rise